And let's now welcome in our very own Adam Schefter. Adam, we just heard from Brett Favre moments ago, and it sounds like if his shoulder injury weren't serious enough where he felt he couldn't come back and perform at the level he's used to, we wouldn't be having this news conference and he wouldn't be retiring.
That was the main factor in his decision, Frank. You could hear what he was saying and read between the lines that if his shoulder were healthy, he might give this another go. His friends have come up to him. His family has approached him. They've all asked him, is this the real deal? And he says this time it is. And the big difference between this year and last year, at this time last year, Fran, Brett Favre had not filed his retirement papers. He's already filed those papers. The Jets officially have placed him on the reserve retired list. So that means his career is over. And all the speculation and all the questions that have arisen about him possibly finding his way to Minnesota and the Vikings, those are moot right now because essentially he's done, he's retired, it's official. There will be no offseason drama the way there was at this time last year.
You mentioned that, and he denied this, but can you uncover any truth that the reports that he asked for his release?
He never did. In fact, when I spoke to Bus Cook on Wednesday morning, or at least got a text message from him, he said Brett is retiring, quote-unquote, for good. And I think that was the surest sign to date that Brett Favre is walking away from the game once and for all and not coming back to it. And again, you come back to that shoulder injury. If that shoulder were healthy, the circumstances surrounding his departure might be different, and he might be enticed to come back to play another year. But with that shoulder ailing and with him being unsure about how it would respond next year, it makes it a moot point. Brett Favre is done.
Brett Favre, as a member of the New York Jets, a success or a failure?
Well, I think it was a success because I think that he brought a certain buzz to New York City. He brought a certain pizzazz to that franchise. He gave that franchise life. And at one point, the Jets were 8-3. And that's about the time that he suffered that shoulder injury, that his shoulder got worse and worse as the year went on. And if his shoulder had held up, the Jets could have maintained that run and had a highly successful year. In hindsight now, it did not work out that way, so people will look back on it as something of a disappointment. But I think when you have the chance to go out and get Brett Favre, you have the chance to go out and get hope. And that's exactly what the Jets did. They gave themselves some hope. They gave themselves a chance to win. And ultimately, in the end, his 39-year-old shoulder and elbow and biceps tendon broke down.